shock in New York as the nation tries to move forward after a second acquittal for the disgraced ex-president, who was essentially referred for criminal investigation and prosecution for his role in inciting the insurrection on January 6th by the top Republican in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, who voted to acquit Donald Trump on a technicality. The failure of the Senate to hold Donald Trump accountable for what is without dispute his singular role in inciting the mob that stormed the Capitol that day has only bolstered the push for legal accountability for the former president. From the New York Times on the new evidence that the House impeachment managers introduced regarding Trump's conduct while the siege was underway. Quote, evidence emerged during the trial about what Mr. Trump was doing during those hours, including new details about 2 phone calls with lawmakers that prosecutors said clearly alerted the president to the mayhem on Capitol Hill. Prosecutors said the new information was clear proof of Mr. Trump's intent to incite the mob and of his dereliction to stop the violence, even when he knew that the life of Vice President Mike Pence was in danger. McConnell endorsed that evidence as proof of Trump's guilt in inciting the riot. Watch.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it.
And this bipartisan agreement to the facts of Trump's guilt turned out to be insufficient to garner just 67 votes to convict Donald Trump, but it may signal that the evidence of Trump's role is now under review by other investigators. Currently, Trump faces legal jeopardy on multiple fronts. The district attorney in Fulton County, Georgia, is investigating Trump's attempt to, quote, find 11,780 votes. That's just one more than Joe Biden's margin of victory in that state. D.C.'s attorney general is weighing incitement of violence charges against him and his allies. And the Manhattan DA's investigation into Trump's finances is a flashing red light, as is the New York State Attorney General's civil probe into the Trump org. Legal experts also tell the New York Times that Trump could face civil litigation from victims of the Capitol rampage. All of this leading one Trump advisor to tell me that the entire post-election grift was just that, an effort to fundraise off one final grievance to help fund his post-presidential litigations, which this aide predicted would swamp the ex-president for years to come. And just in the last hour, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced that she is moving forward on establishing a bipartisan 9/11-style commission to investigate the January 6th attack. George Will describes the importance of doing just that this way, quote, although not nearly as tragic as 9/11 and lives lost and radiating policy consequences, 1/6 should become, as its implications percolate into the national consciousness, even more unsettling. Long before 9/11, Americans knew that foreign fanatics were perennial dangers. After 1/6, Americans know what their constitutional framers knew. In any democracy, domestic fanaticisms always are potentially rank weeds that flourish when fertilized by persons who are as unscrupulous as they are prominent. To that end, the Washington Post also out with some stunning new reporting about the Department of Homeland Security. Of course, that was created in the wake of 9/11, and it's now turning its focus to domestic terror threats, something that was needed after the 2019 massacre in El Paso, but resisted by the Trump White House. The ongoing legal threats facing the ex-president and the ongoing security threat posed by him is where we start today with some of our favorite reporters.